arrived near the source of the River Avon, just north of Acton Turnbull, South Gloucestershire. This muddy patch of ground may not look like much, however this is the start of the 19th longest river in the UK, running 120 kilometres through Wiltshire down to the Severn Estuary and flowing through two major cities. The river supports lots of wildlife such as otters, kingfishers, herons and dragonflies, and historically is one of the major trading routes in the southwest. It's still at the heart of many communities today. From source, through cities, to the sea, there's one thing the river can't avoid. That's us. Almost anything that goes on in the river's catchment area will have an effect on the fresh water. Two major problems are diffuse pollution, caused by agricultural runoff such as pesticides leaching into the waterways, and livestock eroding riverbanks causing a build-up of silt. The Bristol Avon River Trust, known as BART, is working with local farmers and communities to improve the health and habitats of sites along the river. On the River Croome, one of the Avon's major tributaries, they're replicating the natural process of trees becoming uprooted and falling into the river by fixing them into place along the bankside. I met up with Harriet from BART to find out why.
So you can see that the flow is hitting a tree and being forced around it. And what that does is concentrate the flows onto the gravel, which scours them and flushes some of the silt out. So the silt is really bad in terms of smothering the gravels. So when you have sediment smother gravels, that's bad for the invertebrates and for the spawning fish that need the oxygen getting to them. So we are cleaning the gravels out in the centre of the channel, but we're also creating these nice backwater areas behind the tree where it's slower flowing and it's a refuge for juvenile fish. Over time, the silt will accumulate behind those structures because it's not being flushed out, and it will vegetate and it will form part of the natural bankside.
But what about the problem of pollution?
Phosphates and nitrates are naturally occurring in our rivers, but their concentrations are increased by sort of human impact, so agriculture and our sewage treatment works and things like that.
One way of monitoring the levels of pollution in the river is by seeing what insects live here. I'm keen to find some for myself.
Okay, so these are just two rocks that I've just taken out of the river, and underneath them we've got loads of different types of things. So the first one is a caseless caddis, which is this little guy here crawling around. We've got another caseless caddis there. We've got a cased caddis. They have different sensitivities to water quality. So this cased caddis here, it's popping its head out, is intolerant to water pollution. So the fact that it's there is a good sign.
Harriet tells me that in this area, farmers and BART are working well together, and the presence of the cased caddis shows the river is clearly benefiting. But I wanted to find out what impact poor land management practices could have on habitats downstream. So I continued my journey to the mouth of the River Avon, the enormous Severn Estuary. It's here at the Severn Estuary that the River Avon joins forces with three other major rivers to flow out into the Irish Sea. It has the second largest tidal range in the world and is a special area of protection for biodiversity. Here, it houses 80,000 winter migrating birds and 80 species of fish. And it's all due to one thing: the mud. This may not look like much, but this is actually packed full of nutrients and is delicious food for all the little animals that live here. Oh, he just opened his jaws. Oh, he did it again and again. It's little critters like this that's the basis of life amongst the whole estuary. The nutrients in the mud have been carried here in the current along the River Avon. But it's not just these nutrients. Pollutants also diffuse into the waterways and end up in the estuary. The chemicals found in this mud have the potential to work their way up the food chain, affecting growth, reproduction and health of the thousands of birds, fish and animals that live here. Helping to look after your local rivers is a great way to reconnect with nature. If you'd like to get involved, then visit the BART website for future volunteering opportunities. BART and other charities are working with communities to conserve these incredible ecosystems. And it's work like this that enables us and wildlife alike to enjoy the whole length of the river.
So from the 10th to the 16th of June 2017, we are running the Bristol Avon Water Blitz. So this is a campaign to get as many people as possible out in the Bristol Avon catchment, taking samples of the local river or stream. So they're really easy, simple colour dip tests, and they take 3 to 5 minutes to develop, and from the colour that the reagent turns you can tell how healthy your local river is.